Welcome to the 2026 season of the Final Corner podcast. We are back for a new season of Formula One. All new cars, all the same drivers. Well, let's see how this goes. As always, my name is Colin and I am joined by Tom and by Nick. Welcome, gents.
Hello.
Howdy.
Have a good winter break. First things first.
Yeah, needed it after last season.
Yeah, too many Formula One races.
Mm.
Yes, well, Donald Trump's trying to get a few cancelled this year, so we'll see.
Oh,
We'll see how many we end up with them this season. Still scheduled for 24 at the moment.
well, there will
Yeah,
be 24 hook by crook because TV deals and money.
yeah. There's a few replacements that could come in, isn't there? So we should be all right in terms of the number, just the
Yeah.
locations.
Yeah. Seems trivial, though, to talk about how it impacts Formula One in a way.
My not kill dream is still alive. Maybe one day. Okay, so Formula One 2026. As I say, it's all new cars, all new rules. When we get a rule change in Formula One, it normally spices things up a bit. Now,
Yeah,
you guys have probably watched a bit more testing than I have. That's a very presumptuous statement, but I'm going to guess that is that the case?
I've watched some of it.
Okay, that's still more than me.
Yeah, I watched a couple of the full days tests when I was off. That was about it. But yes, it's going to be interesting. It's just how it's going to affect everything. You won't know until this first race.
I was more interested in the post-testing sort of podcasts and videos and discussions. Been
Hmm.
watching a lot of the races coverage or listening to. So I find that, yeah, more fascinating than watching the test itself. But I did watch all the highlight videos as well on the F1 YouTube channel. And there were some interesting bits in terms of seems like it's very prevalent to lock up a front wheel, and
Yes.
an element of this is the car designs, but also with the all the harvesting going on all this, but then also with the boost buttons and stuff, you might be going down a straight quicker than from one lap to the next, depending
Hmm.
on your energy recovery, and then that's causing them to outbrake themselves a bit. So I actually hope that happens in the race, and that's really interesting. But by
Yeah,
then they've probably ironed it all out, haven't they?
it's just F1 trying to copy the boost mode from Gran Turismo.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yes, right. Nick, explain to me what the rule changes are then, because as I say, I've been switched off from F1 for the winter, except from I saw that Ferrari has an upside down rear wing. So
Yes.
explain to me what's going on. Why are the cars moving about a bit?
Well, the cars themselves have got less downforce this year. Um, it's said about 30% in total less. I'm sure it won't take long to get that back, as the teams always love to do that. But at the moment, they've got less downforce. They've got more electrical power, so they're providing a bit more kick off the corners, which is nicely inducing a bit more oversteer. Um, and also, the cars are a lot lighter. They're 30 kilos lighter than last year. They're slightly shorter, slightly narrower. Um, The tires are slightly smaller. Um, I think it's the tire width rather than anything else. They're still the same overall size, but they're a bit narrower. So that's going to be interesting seeing, hopefully, seeing them slide. I saw one of the Aston Martins, I think it was Alonso, sliding out of the last corner at Bahrain very heavily, but that's probably just because he was annoyed at how crap his car is.
Yeah, I saw that clip. It looked like he sort of ran wide
Yeah,
and then just went, "Ah, sod this."
yes. But I'm hoping to see a little bit of that in the races. Probably
Yeah,
not as extreme.
if someone said the cars are smaller, they've got less aero and they're lighter, you'd be like, "Tick, tick, tick, sign me up." It's just this whole increased
Yes.
electrification that it's sort of like, "Ooh, I'm not sure about that."
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
the actual MGUK, as they call it, which is the kinetic harvesting, that's been increased from 120 to 350 kilowatts. And that's somewhere in the region of, I think it was 400 and something horsepower. I'm not entirely sure, but it was something ridiculous. I can't remember who said it was the equivalent of a Ferrari F40
Mm,
just from the electric motor. The old MGUH, which was what ran off the turbo, that's been removed to make it simple, and they're running on what's it called? Sustainable fuels this year.
yeah, whatever that means.
Yeah, I thought the same as well. And then where it gets all the more complicated is the new aero and overtaking rules, which I don't think any of us are going to fully understand until at least one race.
Just
So
quick,
all the wings are movable basically,
Yep.
almost all of the time.
Yes, there are set sections, but we don't actually know what they are yet. I'm not sure if it's basically just the DRS zones that we had from last year or if it's any straight bit of road. This we'll have to wait and see for presumably practice or qualifying to see when that kicks in.
Melbourne isn't necessarily going to be the sort of the template that we set for the rest of the year either, because it's quite a
Mhm.
unique layout with very little braking zones. I think the whole back
Yes.
sector, it's not a straight, but it's curved and it's flat out for a long time.
hmm And they have had DRS there in the past, so
Mm.
you would think maybe they can.
So you've also got boost buttons and overtake modes. This is all electrical energy as well, isn't it?
It is, and that's where the confusion comes in, I think, because we've got the overtake mode, which is kind of the replacement for DRS. So when you're within a second of the car in front, you can then apply this extra bit of electrical energy. But you also have a boost button, which can be deployed at any time, whether you're a second um, ahead or second behind. It doesn't matter. It's just wherever you're on track. So there's always some extra electrical power to play with, but also it doesn't last very long because it's got to go over a lap. So it's confusing, and we'll have to wait and see how it all pans out.
Yeah, so same instead of DRS, you also have the overtake part, but you also have straight mode, which is just going to activate almost every straight. So I've got the track map here for Melbourne.
Mhm.
So you've got the start finish straight is the first one, obviously. Between corners two and three, which is the immediately after, is also a
Yep.
straight mode zone. Then you've got the little kinks through the little car park area, and then between five and six is a straight mode.
Mm.
Interesting.
Then basically what the old DRS zone was on the back kinks between
Mhm.
8 and 9 is straight. Once you go through the fast left right chicane, that's another straight mode. And then that is the final part of straight mode until you get
Mhm.
out of the final corner. So the last little section is just a standard car, but then you do have five straight modes on the lap where, as I understand it, the wings will open like DRS, but both front and
Mhm.
back, and Ferraris goes upside down. Um, and then they'll go much, much quicker.
Does Ferraris
The
go upside down though? Because
yes and no.
yeah, because it was only seen once in testing
It
for a
is.
session.
It's an experimental part they put on to try. There's no confirmation yet whether they will actually run it at any
Mm.
point during the year.
Do you think it just broke and then they went, "Oh crap, let's just yeah, we planned this. This is all a
Yes,
test. Don't worry."
there has been a few memes along those lines as well. But people are saying this is a brilliant idea, and there's a mechanic sitting there holding a couple of screws in his hand.
It sounds like the fuel filler cap lock on my car at the moment. Where the little electric motor that locks it is trying to rotate about 17,000 times rather than stopping when it should. So
Nice.
yeah, I've got a nice. So yeah, anyway, my car wasn't built by Ferrari; it was built by Honda, but
Well,
they must share some parts.
given
Was
how
but
Honda is looking this year, which we'll come to in a bit, that could explain a few things.
Yes, yes. Just as an aside, love my car. Very not impressed with Honda's build or reliability quality over the previous
Mhm.
2 years.
well, it was made in Swindon. That might explain it.
True.
Ah, ah. See, I thought I bought a Japanese car, and you're telling me I bought something from, is it the middle of England?
It's the
Mid.
south
Ah, even worse.
or
But
southwest.
bloody South Coast. Sorry, F1. You triggered me there.
No, that's all right.
Gonna
That's the
have to.
main rule
I'm gonna
change
have to
discovered.
pay 125 quid for someone to look at my fuel filler cap and say, yes, the lock's broken. And then I'm gonna go, right, how much is it to fix it? And they're gonna go, it's another 250 quid. I was like, could you not just save the first part? And I'll tell you. Anyway, anyway, cars. I've had two punctures in the last week. I am,
Oh man, that is unlucky, and nothing to do with
Yeah.
Swindon.
well,
Mm, I
yeah,
blame Swindon for a lot of things.
yeah. So, anyway, is that it for the, the real
That's
changes
pretty
this year?
much it. There's a few other minor changes, but that's pretty much it.
What I did see is Monaco's back to normal. So,
Yes.
They're not doing the mandatory tire rubbish that they tried last year and didn't work.
No, because it was awful.
Yes. And I did see that Williams failed the crash test.
Yes, they they failed it. They have passed it since, but that's one of the reasons that they are overweight with the current car. Because they had to beef up the crash structure a bit more.
They've had to fill it with lead, basically.
Yep.
Very good. Okay, on to the teams then. And we have a new team. With two new teams.
One and a
So
half.
Sauber is rebranded as Audi.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and of course, we now have Cadillac joining the grid. New engines as well.
Yep.
Yeah,
Two
we
new
have.
engines.
While Audi is not a new team, it's rebranded Sauber, right? It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is at least making its own power unit.
And Honda seem to have completely forgotten how to build an engine over the winter.
Yeah.
Well, one element apparently is a lot of their because they did announce they were withdrawing from Formula One,
Mm-hmm.
and they were working with Red Bull. So some of the talent went to the Red Bull engine project, and then they went, "Oh no, we are going to stick with Formula One."
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it was rebuilt, wasn't it? But they lost a lot of talent and facilities and had to start again a little bit.
Hmm.
Yes. Yeah, it's not ideal. And also, we should mention that Red Bull are doing their own power unit slash engine with Ford this year.
Yeah, and there's always a big debate as to how much is Ford involved. Cadillac were making digs. I think some of Cadillac were saying, "Oh
Yes.
well, that everybody thing," and Ford was like, "How dare they say that, America?"
From what I can see, they're more involved than they were originally planning to be. Because it was originally supposed to be the electrical side, but they actually apparently had quite a big input on the engine side as well.
That's a bit. That's it's interesting as new, I suppose, manufacturer interest in the sport
Mm.
after a period of, well, Mercedes were desperate to cut their engines.
Mhm.
Honda were desperate to get out. So I suppose it's encouraging that new people are jumping in.
It is. We've lost Renault, but over the last 10 years, who cares?
It's a shame we haven't lost Alpine as well.
Yeah.
Or Briatore.
If, but it has been interesting in testing how reliable the Red Bulls and the Ford has been, and also the Audi. The only car that's not, or engine that's not reliable appears to be the Honda.
Maybe this whole Honda reliability is a myth, especially with Colin and this now involved.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's someone in Honda that just absolutely despises and has made it his life mission to completely F up Fernando Alonso's career?
Uh, Officially, no, but it does seem that way, doesn't it?
It Briatore that messes it up, right? Isn't
Oh,
he still his
yeah.
manager? He seems to be in the wrong seat at the wrong time every single year, basically.
That's weird, actually, because now I think about it, Alonso is someone else's manager, isn't he?
Bortoletto.
Bortoletto. But yeah. But yes, we'll see what happens. The Honda apparently shakes itself to bits, is the problem. It
Yeah.
vibrates too heavily, which breaks all the electrical systems, and then the car breaks down, the batteries are all broken.
Also, I could be wrong here, but I'm going to say it anyway. Is this the first time this team's ever made a gearbox?
Yes, it is. At
Mm.
least, well, I think it is. It
Yeah, I think
definitely
so.
is since they've been Aston Martin. Definitely is when they were Force India. I can't remember if Jordan made their own.
I think Jordan was always a customer engine supply team
I think so. I just
with a
can't
gearbox.
remember
Yeah,
for sure.
but anyway, that's also a big thing that's not being overlooked at the minute.
Hmm.
Is yeah, Honda's doing messing up with the powertrain, but I wonder if the gearbox is involved in this.
Yeah, allegedly Adrian Newey when he came in a little bit late, because he couldn't start working until a certain time last year. But when he did come in, he basically went, just start again and change everything. So they are a bit behind from where other teams are.
If it, oh well, we've seemed to have dived straight into the Aston Martin analysis. But if they
True.
improve through the year, all is not lost. But it seems very bad right now.
Mm.
I do think that a Newey led team is the sort of team that will turn up with a huge upgrade for the first race, and all of a sudden it's fine. But even that seems a stretch now.
Yeah, I think because the majority of the problems appear to be power unit. It's not all of them. There are issues with the car itself as well. But I think until the power unit's rectified, that they're going to be struggling.
They're going to throw it under the bus immediately.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to run through the teams. But before we do that, we do have a calendar update. We have lost Imola, which I'm
For
not
now,
really that upset about,
Mhm.
to
no,
be
but
honest.
it is one of the tracks mooted to be a potential replacement if any tracks have to drop out. That
Yeah.
and Portimao.
We do have a second Spanish Grand Prix, this time in September, because we've got the Madrid street circuit pending it all gets signed off and everything.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the track's like. I haven't actually seen any.
I saw an outline of it, and my first impression was that's going to be absolutely terrible.
Mhm.
But that may just be me.
And that is a venue that will seemingly replace Barcelona. I think this is Barcelona's last contract, a year in its
Uh,
contract. I could be wrong there. And then that one's
yeah,
got a multi-year thing.
they have just announced, haven't they, that recently? Is it Barcelona are going to be swapping with Spa?
On a rotation.
Yes,
Hmm.
Hmm.
which is quite disappointing because I'd rather see Spa than Barcelona.
Yeah, I'd rather see both than the street circuit, but there we go.
Hmm.
Okay, teams. So let's start with last year's champions. McLaren won the Constructors' Championship, and Lando Norris came from behind to claim his first driver title from Oscar Piastri. Did Piastri end up finishing second or third last year?
Third.
Yeah,
Oh, that was quite a fall off, wasn't it?
it was. It was a stellar season from him. No pun intended about the team manager.
No.
But yeah, over a whole season, it didn't quite pan out for him. But he's had that experience now. If he's in another title fight, he knows how to handle it. It just remains to be seen if McLaren are going to be a race-winning car or not.
It
They've
sounds
looked,
like they potentially have the best, they have the right engine, gearbox,
yes,
and
it's
electrical
just
recharging and all this stuff.
yeah, they seem a little bit off the pace, but at this stage, it's
Hmm.
hard to say what the pace is.
They have
So,
proven that even with Merck's technology in there, they can develop the rest of the car better
mhm.
in the last few years, but obviously different rule sets and stuff. Hard to tell. But I'm not writing him off. And I'm not writing off Piastri.
No,
I think he's
it's
got
going
a
to be
good chance of that. What happened last year makes you stronger. And
yes,
I don't think it's right to say, oh, this was his one chance. I do think McLaren are weirdly going into it as a bit of a dark horse, especially if you look at the odds.
yeah. It's still weird to me to think that Norris is going into this season as a world champion. Not that he didn't deserve it; he did over the season, but it
No, it
hasn't
is
quite
odd.
settled in yet.
Yep. There's also something about apparently Mark Webber, who's Piastri's manager, not going to every race this year or something like this.
Was he just giving off bad vibes?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's bad vibes. Yeah.
Does he just get drunk on like a Saturday night and start moaning about what Vettel did to him? Or just
I think
brings
Not
it
so.
bad
on
for a
down.
number two driver.
Yes. So McLaren are second favourites for the title. Quite surprised that Norris and Piastri are sixth and seventh favourites.
Mm.
Considering how good they were last year. Second favourite, joint with McLaren, is Ferrari,
I
who
don't believe it.
somehow
Yeah,
finished second last year, didn't they?
No.
Third.
I
Did not
can't
finish.
remember. We should
Did
have
not
this in
finish
hand,
second.
really.
I thought they finished second.
Hang on.
I
Oh,
did as well, to be honest. But
Oh, maybe I'm wrong then. Sorry.
Thomas is very forceful and he's knowing that.
Yeah, no, I know. Sorry. Carry on then.
And then he's correct because Ferrari was fourth.
oh, there you go.
You know, it would also help if I just looked at the cars that are on the shelf behind me because they're
Oh, is that an
almost the
order?
champion. Well, they're almost. So yes, Mercedes finished second last year. Red Bull was third. Ferrari was fourth. Just topper off what was a rubbish year for them. Um, they look like, and I don't know about the start sequence that they keep going on about. You've got to rev
Mhm.
your engine for 40 seconds before your battery charges. But every practice start, Ferrari looked incredible. So it's
Mhm.
like, even if they had a bag of bolts, they're probably first by the first corner, if that's a true reflection.
the turbo is the reasoning for them because they knew that removing the MGU-H, which used to run off the turbo, and that used to provide a little extra boost to the turbo to reduce lag. Because that's gone, there's now a big turbo lag. And Ferrari, knowing that, were quite sensible and putting a slightly smaller turbo so as it has less lag. And that means it gets up to pressure or revolutions quicker, and that's why they're quicker off the start.
Yeah, and it wasn't just there's that famous start, and you can watch the clip where Hamilton he just
Yeah.
blitzes the field, doesn't he? But if you look as well, I think it's Ocon in a Haas, who's also Ferrari powered.
Yeah.
Gets a really good start as well. So that indicated to me that okay, it's more than just maybe others sandbagging or whatever. It could be the Ferrari unit's got something. But then is that at a detriment to how it performs during the race? Well, we'll find out, I guess. I just
Exactly.
don't. I just fail to believe or buy into any Ferrari preseason hype at all, even though I would like it. And then the other thing is, if Ferrari is decent, then it's going to be Leclerc, right? It ain't going to be Hamilton, in my opinion, that challenges for the title.
I may be slightly just fanboying here, but I just look at these cars and go, these look like more like a Lewis Hamilton car than the ground effect cars did the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, yeah, I
They,
agree. I
they
agree.
look like you can probably attack
Uh-huh.
the braking zones and everything like that, and that might just be a visual thing, but they look much more aggressive, which I think is what he would like.
I think it will suit him a lot more. I think you're right with that. It's just whether or not he still has the raw pace and belief to match Leclerc because he didn't seem to have either last year. But if he gets both back together, there's every chance he could challenge for something.
Yeah, he didn't get a single podium last year, whereas Leclerc did manage to get a few, actually.
He
Hmm.
did win a sprint race, didn't he? In China.
He did.
He did. I was trying to remember if he got disqualified or not because there was
No,
issues in China, wasn't there? But I think that was the main race.
I think it
yeah,
was the main race he got
Mhm.
disqualified.
probably should have got disqualified for the sprint, but didn't. No, but this was also the big rumor was after that disqualification they had to sort of raise the ride height and the car just didn't really work
Mhm.
as well. Because he did look, even though he didn't get great results, he was kind of pacey in Australia, and then again in China, and then that was it for the year really. But like I said, Leclerc managed to still scrape out 5, 6 podiums.
Yeah. There is the other factor as well, isn't it? That they've got rid of his race engineer or
Oh, thank God.
promoted him, shall we say, because there was no issue between the two at all. Mhm. But we don't know whose race engineer will be. It's the only race engineer who hasn't been announced for the season yet.
Wow.
But
That
we
was
shall
not a
see.
happy relationship last year.
No.
Oh yeah, the clip's been going around again of like all the times they sort of miscommunicated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't good.
I would love Hamilton to have a good fight with Leclerc this year, and I think these cars do suit him better.
Mhm.
But in general, I do probably agree with you, Tom, that if that car is quick, Leclerc will be the front runner, and Hamilton will do well to just pick up a place or two
Yeah,
behind him.
in my mind, it's the Vettel Raikkonen era. You know, Raikkonen
Oh,
can get the odd
don't be
podium.
that harsh on him. Come
Yeah.
on. That's brutal. He's a seven-time world champion, and you're
However,
comparing him with Raikkonen.
yeah, but I'm just going to qualify. I don't want that to be the case. I'm predicting it will be the case, but obviously, you know, the heart says, "Come on, Lewis, get that extra title."
Okay, on to Red Bull, who finished apparently third last year, which is a surprise to me, but it was third. They
To
are
be more
fourth favourites.
precise, Max finished third.
Yes, of course, because they had Yuki Tsunoda. That briefly had Liam Lawson in the seat and then sacked him immediately, and then killed Yuki Tsunoda's career
Mm.
by him tootling around at the back.
Yeah,
So
the second
Tsunoda is,
car. Sorry, the second car only scored points 7 times last year.
Yeah.
yeah. So Tsunoda's been sacked. He's now reserve driver. And they are about to ruin another promising young man's career in Isaac Hadjar, who had a stunning debut season. So he is joining Max Verstappen. Verstappen is second favourite for the title. Red Bull are fourth favourite for the title. Hadjar's obviously got a podium in his debut season, which was very impressive,
Mhm.
and was just genuinely impressive throughout the entire campaign after Australia.
Yeah.
Australia, of
Well,
course, he chucked it in the wall in the formation lap. But after that, he was phenomenal.
It was, but it was really terrible conditions in that race, to be fair. And he was by far or rather, was not the only person to chuck it in the wall. Many people did, including race winners. So I can
Yes,
forgive him for that.
I'd forgotten all this until I watched Drive to Survive, the new
Yes,
season. Have you seen the first episode? Yeah, and then you're like, oh, actually, there was.
I've actually watched the whole series. I didn't
Oh,
expect to.
I've only watched the first two, so
Mm,
I was kind of getting back into it again, especially with Briatore's comments, which I think if you watch it back, the certain bits, their audio is from another conversation, and then it's been
yeah,
pasted onto this other. And you're sort of like, oh, come on. But anyway, we'll cover that in Alpine. But yeah, Hadjar, his career's over. Sorry, mate.
I disagree to some point this because the second Red Bull drivers have actually always done pretty well until the ground effect rules. Those rules have now gone. Also, Horner has gone, and the Walking,
The
Yes,
Walking Dead,
the Walking Dead. I forgot what word I was going
Parker,
to use for him now.
big helmet.
the big helmet. Yeah,
Yeah, but the paparazzi thing, headline generator, shall we say? He's gone, and I think that's going to help a lot of people out in the team. There's no pressure on them from him anymore.
I
But
don't
we'll have to see.
rule out Max for this title at all.
No.
And here's the crazy thing: this Red Bull slash Ford powertrain to even be like in contention for
Mm,
Toto to say some stupid things in headlines and for them to run reliably in testing and to be considered on the pace, that is an amazing, amazing achievement.
it is.
Before any races happen, that's incredible.
No, I completely agree with that. And I'd even stick my neck out. Hadjar's going to win a race this year.
Ooh, like it. I think Max will be. He's probably got a chance of another title.
Hmm.
He's going to be the one where if the next team we talk about mess up, he'll be just there.
He sounds very unenthused though, Max, in testing. And he seems to be hinting at if he doesn't enjoy this year, he might chuck it.
Yes, of course, but how much is he being paid to do it? It's his job. It doesn't matter if he enjoys it or not. Like he's there to win, and if he gets a sniff of the champagne, I think he'll
Hmm.
change his tune. He'll be fine.
Yeah, considering he almost won the title last year when
Yeah.
he had no
Yeah.
right to. If this Red Bull's halfway competitive, it's going to be up there. And you chucked forward to them. So Mercedes, the next team, they finished second last year, and they are the favourites now for the title. They are 65. And George Russell is the favourite to win the Drivers' Championship. Kimi Antonelli is fifth favourite, although I thought he had a really disappointing debut season. But
Yeah, we
George
were critical.
Russell was pretty consistent last year.
Hmm.
He picked up a couple of wins. He picked up a bunch of podiums as well, which that Mercedes was never brilliant.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I can understand why people are now speaking about George Russell potential winning a title.
Well, let's break down why he's favourite. I think last year was his best season by a country mile.
Hmm.
Wasn't a great car, but he ground it out. And oh my word, the consistency, insane. Only one race outside the points. And did he finish every race? He did. Obviously, the race outside the points was the Monaco meltdown. But
When he cut the corners,
yeah,
he
which you've got to
lost the
love that
rack
though.
and just went, stuff this.
Yeah, but I love that. So amazing season. There was a point where actually, like, was it past halfway through, and everyone went, "Do you know what? He's still in contention for the title."
Yeah.
Obviously, unrealistic because given the car pace. So there's that. The other element is in testing. The Mercedes team and the Mercedes powertrain were the ones that competed the most kilometers, significantly over other teams.
Yes.
And then there's historical precedence of when there's a new sort of power unit rule set. We all think back to, was it 2014?
Yep.
However, that was such a long time ago, and I do think that's an element that's weighed into this. Like, oh, last time, and it's like, yeah, but Toto might still be there, but a lot of the rest of the team isn't. However, the aura of Russell in interviews is like confident. I think they
Yeah.
know. You get a feeling of if they don't do it now, it's going to be embarrassing.
I mean, if Mercedes is by far the quickest car, Russell's a shoo-in for the championship. If they're in a fight with Ferrari, Red Bull, potentially McLaren, then it comes down a little bit different, maybe. But he still is the person that I would put money on if I had to.
Well, that's a good point. If let's say Red Bull's in the hunt,
Mhm.
who would you? Do you not think Max will get inside his head?
I don't necessarily think it'd get inside his head, but I do think one-on-one, Max is the better driver. And I think Russell is a brilliant driver. I just think there isn't a better driver than Max on the grid.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to suggest is, like you said, Colin, Antonelli, we were not impressed by his debut year, but he's got that over and done with now. He's got the confidence, the backing of everybody. If this car's good,
Mhm.
I think his odds are his fifth favourite.
Mm.
Come on, he should be on second place at least every race if the car's really that good. And then all it takes is like a breakdown or a spin from Russell, or a few races where Antonelli's quicker, and he's
Mhm.
right in there. So I think,
He picked up a couple of podiums late in the year as
Mhm.
well. So it was maybe getting more settled as the year went on, but he didn't blitz his debut like we've seen other people.
no,
And that was maybe unrealistic for an 18-year-old. But
who
you're
had an
right,
average
Tom.
F2 year.
Yeah. So you're right. If that car is competitive, if that car's competitive and he's piddling around in seventh and eighth, Mercedes is going to turn into
Mm,
a Red Bull situation.
mm.
Yeah.
So I hope for his sake that he has a decent run.
I'm not. I still think Russell should outperform in over a year,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but I'm not putting it past it where Antonelli slaps it on pole at Australia, and we're like, what's going on here?
Yeah, but was it a sprint pole only, or did he get an actual pole? But he was on pole for
Miami.
Miami in the sprint. I
Yeah.
can't remember if he got a proper pole or not. I know he didn't because I've written on this thing that he didn't have any poles.
Oh yeah.
It's right in front of me. But yeah, he definitely had a bit of pace in qualifying. And yeah, I think he's got massive potential. Like I say, he's only 18, or was last year. I presume he's 19 now.
That's not how aging works. I,
Exactly.
so that was just cruel. I
No, but
apologize.
it was valid.
Yes, so he is currently 19. Yeah, he turns 20 in August. Okay, if somehow fifth favorite team of the bookies, God knows what
Yeah.
the hell they're basing this on.
Is that not a typo?
No,
Yeah,
this I have to say these odds were taken from one betting place because trying to amalgamate all the different ones was just a nonsense. So I just took it from pre-season odds. So I
right.
imagine once practice starts, those odds will change dramatically.
Yes, so 50 to 1 and Aston Martin. Um, Fernando Alonso is eighth favorite for the title, and Lance Stroll is 13th, which I think is generous.
She's same.
Honestly, the I did quite enjoy seeing Lauren Stroll's face in the brief bits of testing I did watch, and I think Alonso is going to kill someone. So you've got Adrian Newey now running as team principal, which I don't think he was wholly expecting. So he's now team principal. He's had input into this car. It's the slowest on the grid. It's the least reliable on the grid. It's got one of the worst drivers in its second seat. Is there any room for optimism for Aston Martin going into this new season?
Long term, yes, but short term, absolutely not.
Lawrence Stroll has spent a fortune trying to
Hmm.
build up for this year.
And also, it is related. The Aston Martin road car company
Mm.
is in a bit of strife. That is not working out financially.
Yes, because he bought something random, like he bought the F1 naming rights or something,
Yeah, it is. It's
which I thought he would
billionaire.
already have. Yeah, I think that team will come good, but it'll be the end of the season, possibly next season, before we see anything good
I,
out of
do,
them.
I don't understand why New is team principal. A team
Yeah,
principal, don't they have to like hire people and fire people and make
no,
sure the
not
tax is paid?
necessarily. He's the principal, but he's not like, for instance, how Horner and Mekis at Red Bull were the CEO,
Okay, okay.
because
Still,
that's Stroll is the CEO. It's kind of like how Zach Brown is at McLaren, Andrew Stella.
actually, yeah,
kind of
gets the
runs the
race
team, but Zach Brown is the person who's like the face of it all.
the money.
Yeah,
But still, it's an
I know
extra
it's still weird.
thing that takes away surely from his drawing board.
Yeah, and I doubt he's going to be doing many interviews. I think we'll see Mike Crack, which is still the funniest name, um, who will do probably most of the what we would consider the team principal role.
It must have to be. Yeah.
Hmm.
Where did Mike Crack go?
He was moved aside for Newey, but he's still there, isn't he?
Well, no, he was moved aside for I forgot his name, Cal,
Oh, right. Yeah, there was someone else in the middle, wasn't
Andy Cal, I think, but he's been moved over to basically
Power
sort
Trip.
Honda out.
there? Yeah.
Good luck with that, boys.
Yeah,
Right. Lance Stroll may have gathered I haven't very little time for him.
yeah.
Yeah, because he has very little time for Formula One. So,
Mhm.
if you don't want it, Stoffel and Dawn, he'll sacrifice his little finger to have a drive.
This team could be the most miserable team on the grid
Mhm.
because
Yeah, it will. It's a drain on the whole sport.
Adrian Newey does not interview well, as you guys have just hinted to.
Mhm.
Fernando Alonso is just going to be the most miserable man in the world if he's nowhere, which he's going to be nowhere again. And Lance Stroll, unless everything's going his way, which it hasn't for about 5 years, his
Mhm.
face is just going to be tripping him all year. He's going to look like he doesn't want to be here because I don't think he wants to be there. I think he wants to be in F1 if he can win. I think
Yeah,
he's got no interest other than his dad saying, You're doing this, or piddling around outside the points.
Yeah, I
yeah.
think he wants to actually have a seat bought at a good team and
Mhm.
not have his dad buy the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and it's going to be really annoying if he it's still like another year of him not answering any questions and be like,
Yeah.
eh, meh, meh, meh.
Well, at
Is
least
this
he
going to
lied during testing when they said, "How's it feel to be back in the car?" Oh, it's really good to be back behind the car again for 3 laps.
Yeah, no, and although Drive to Survive might be extra good next year if
Mhm.
they're allowed to follow this failure
True.
again. Adrian Newey, he might turn up with a new front wing in Australia, and it's like, oh, we found 5 seconds a lap, but it seems too far at the minute.
Yeah, it's the mechanical side they need to concentrate on first. But that's kind of out of their control because that's Honda.
is this Fernando Alonso's last year?
Yes, in my opinion.
I will come to that later in my predictions.
Oh, oh.
Mm.
Is this Lance Stroll's last year?
No,
Sadly, not.
Okay, the sixth favourite team is now the team that I don't understand why it still exists, but it does,
Mhm.
is Alpine, which of course has Pierre Gasly, very underrated driver in my opinion, and
Mhm.
Franco Colapinto as their drivers for this season again.
don't you mean Cola Pinto? Cola Pinto.
Definitely not.
Flavio Briatore, fresh off his lifetime ban, is of course the team principal.
Yep.
That was obviously overturned in a court. I'll make that clear for any
Woo!
legal people. I am joking. Leave us alone. So yeah, he's obviously there. I'm not watched Drive to Survive yet, but all the clips I've seen is just him being
Yeah,
him.
Yeah.
Now,
it's
as I
worth
say,
it for him.
I don't get why this team still exists. At the very least, I don't get why it exists as Alpine, and I don't get why they just don't sell it because it's clear that no one really wants to have their hands on this.
So a
Mhm.
couple of interesting things in the off season, not related to Formula One, but are related to this team is Alpine has withdrawn from the World Endurance Championship and Le Mans. It will be
Mhm.
doing this season because it's sort of contracted to do that, and that is the end. It is also, Alpine is part of the Renault Group, so is their budget brand is Dacia, and Dacia won the Dakar Rally and went, right, we'll quit now.
Mhm.
So in January, it won the Dakar. It's going to have to do the rest of the W2RC, the championship that goes around it, but it
Yeah.
will not be doing Dakar next year. So they're out. So this is, I think, the only work-supported Renault Group motorsport activity because they have a new CEO within the last 12 months. So I'm with you. This has got to be over. Except Formula One teams are profitable, aren't they? And they're worth
Yes.
stuff. So if they've got enough sponsors and Colapinto paying, then you might as well keep it if it's not losing money. But it's not exactly what you want. You want to be in there to have the passion and the energy and the push and the drive to win the championship. It's not just because, oh, well, it doesn't lose money. And that's what the feeling I get from the companies.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. And I think if any team is going to be replaced on the grid, it will be Alpine. They'll be bought out by someone.
Hmm.
But like you say, it's got to be the right offer because there's a lot of money to be made from F1 now, which
Yeah, doesn't Ryan Reynolds own part of it?
Ryan Reynolds, the
Someone else.
the golf bloke that I can't remember his name, Rory
Tiger
McIlroy,
Woods?
is it?
Oh, Rory McIlroy.
Yeah, so that's a trend for all sports. It's happening in football because Snoop Dogg was just at Swansea last week being unveiled
Yeah,
as one of their new
that's
owners.
brilliant. That is.
And it was just the record attendance for the season. Everyone came out to see
Yes.
Snoop.
Snoop and Martha Stewart.
Yes. The opposition manager, I think it was asked at post-match, did you notice anything different? Now, Snoop was here and he said you could just smell the weed in the tunnel coming out to play.
Oh,
So I
my
just
word.
assumed that was him. So, yes. That's a trend in all the sports, and now as entertainment stars and big sports stars, they're just joining these sporting conglomerates and buying into Chelsea and Leeds and F1 teams. So like Ryan Reynolds himself probably owns like 0.1%
Yes.
or something like that. But together they're all chucking in like 5 million. Because Lewis Hamilton, I think, was doing that with Chelsea. So I think he might have a stake in Chelsea. Or certainly was looking at it, despite the fact he's an Arsenal fan. So yeah, that's just strange. They must make money out of it doing it, but it just seems a bizarre way to spend a few million quid. How much is an F1 team going to cost as well now?
Oh,
To
Well, at the time in 2023, that was when they bought stakes. They bought 24% of Alpine. And by they, I mean the whole investment group, which included Reynolds, McElroy, and Michael B. Jordan. There's another one in there. They paid, I think it was 200 million, so they valued it at roughly 900 million. And that was nearly 3 years ago.
do you want to know what Google AI now values it at?
Go for it.
$2.45 billion.
Yeah.
So if it was 900 million 3 years ago, it's
Double
now
your money.
2.45 billion.
Yeah.
So yeah, that might be hard to sell, but I've nothing else to say about Alpine.
Well,
other than I like Pierre Gasly and I hope he does well.
even his new hairline. Yeah, the thing is, this team is so forgettable. We're talking about the finances, so yeah, we should move on.
I have to
Racing-
bring up the whole Drive to Survive thing now about how
Oh yeah,
brutal Briatore was in it.
yeah. To doing.
To do an anti-collar Pinto. I can't
Yeah.
remember exactly what was said now. They were in a meeting.
It says it's
with
your
him
fault
and
we've not scored
Gasly.
points. You need to get better.
Yes. And then didn't he say, oh, we could try things on my car? And he basically just shut him down and said, no, you don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell you what to do.
Yeah.
It's like, that's quite toxic.
Yeah, because they deliberately contrast that with Andrew Wheatley, don't they?
Yes.
I was thinking, why would have an episode where it's the Sauber Alpine crossover? I don't care. Oh, hang on a minute. It's about the contrast of managerial styles.
It
Because
is,
then
yeah.
Andrew Wheatley's like hugging Bortoletto and going, how's your family?
just to point out, it is Jonathan Wheatley, but
What did I say?
Andrew,
Who's Andrew Wheatley?
I've no idea. I just thought I'd clarify that one.
Is he a movie director? I'm getting confused now. Anyway, yeah, Jonathan Wheatley. Yes, you're right. Yeah.
is the robot in Portal 2 not called Wheatley as well? That Stephen Merchant plays.
Possibly. I've never actually played that game.
I
Yes,
replayed both of them on a Switch last year for my Switch.
Ah. And Andrew Wheatley is the sporting director of the Hyundai WRC team. Wrong
Oh,
Wheatley.
so at least there's an actual person you can confuse him with.
In motorsport, yes.
Yeah.
And Wheatley is an intelligence dampening sphere, voiced by Stephen Merchant in the Portal
Oh,
franchise.
there we go.
So everyone's right in their own way.
There we go. So Racing Bulls, they are the 10th favourite for the title because, of course, they will never win anything.
Yeah.
And with Red Bull as their parent company, so they are 400 to 1. They are also the only team with a new driver this year. Liam Lawson returns, but we've got Arvid Lindblad joining from Formula 2. He is joint 14 favourite for the title in his debut season. I stopped watching F2, so I can't give any input, but you guys know much about Lundblad?
I stopped watching it as well. I want to get into it. I just haven't had the time to carry on watching it. But he finished in the same position as Antonelli the year before, of sixth place.
Yeah,
So
so a
it's
medium.
okay, but nothing special.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. He did, I think, was it in F3?
Hmm.
It was one of the first to win both races in a weekend.
Possibly, and he did well in the regional F4, but nothing yet to say how good he's going to be. But I hope he does well, and it's quite a good place to be against Liam Lawson, I think, because Lawson's shown good speed at times. So if he can compare to him, he's on the right track.
Yeah, I'm not blown away by Lindblad. Yeah, he finished fourth in F3 and he did win at Silverstone both races.
Hmm.
But he's definitely a talented driver.
Oh yeah, to do well in F2, you have to be good.
Yeah. So we're not blown away, but he could be decent. Uh, fine, you know. But I don't rate Lawson that highly either, really. So I don't.
Oh, I just think Lawson does a good steady job, especially
Yeah, yeah,
considering the brutal. I'm trying to think of a word that isn't swearing, but what happened to him last year of two
yeah.
races getting replaced?
Ridiculous. That was absolutely ridiculous. And the
Yeah.
final throws of those people's premiership at that team.
Yes.
Yes. Do we expect much from Racing Bulls this year?
Nope.
Mm, I think they'll just be in a solid midfield battle pretty much where they've been all the time. I don't think they'll be fighting for podiums or anything like that anytime soon.
Yuki Tsunoda is the reserve driver. He
Mhm.
set on fire recently.
Yes, I
Yeah.
saw that.
Have you seen the actual donut he's doing before it sets on fire?
Yeah.
It is too far, I think. Like
Yeah.
it's like 10 revolutions at max on the rev limit. It's like going and going and
Mhm.
going and going and going. You sort of think, right, well, I know why that exploded.
Yeah.
Oh well. So Racing Bulls finished sixth last year. I think if they did the same, they'd be delighted this year.
Yes.
Haas next. Seventh favourite, Ocon Behrman. Behrman's first full season last year, thought did very well. Beat his more experienced teammate.
Mm.
Um,
Big surprise that.
I- yeah, it was only a couple of points, but still beating your experienced teammate in your first year is pretty impressive.
Yeah, and Ocon is a race winner. I know it was a little bit lucky, but he has won a race in F1. So
Cheers, Fernando.
yeah. The thing about Haas, though, for me, is that they do, in my opinion, have the best looking car on the grid this year.
Ooh, interesting. Well, I do like the fact that Toyota's more involved in the sponsor. The
Mhm.
GR, the GR little logo to me now is like a really cool brand that they built up with all the cool road cars.
Yeah,
And it is a nice livery thinking about it. Jack Doohan is a reserve driver. Didn't realize that.
he is. And I can well see him getting the drive next season at Haas.
Interesting. What if Ocon is booted?
No, when Ollie Behrman moves to Ferrari
Oh,
after
of
Lewis Hamilton
course.
disappears.
Of course. Which is
But
the plan. It's got to be the plan.
yeah.
Blasphemy! Blasphemy! I will not have it. Yeah, I was a wee bit disappointed in Haas last year because I thought they
Mm.
went backwards slightly.
That's because
But
they didn't have Gunter.
I don't know. We said that the big, really good season was because they didn't have Gunter either. So,
Mm.
No, their good season was because of Gunter, because he was sacked in like what, December or something. So obviously that car was under his stewardship in terms of what to
Mm.
develop and where. So then they all had that, and then this was the first proper. Last year was the first post Gunter year, in my opinion.
mm,
Anyway,
fair
now
enough.
he's in MotoGP.
Fair enough. Did I see the MotoGP guys riding around in tuk-tuks at the weekend?
You did.
I saw a clip of that.
It was a Thai Grand Prix, so get him
Ah,
on some tuk tuks.
fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, on to Williams next, who I don't know what to say about them because for 3 years, James Vowles has been talking about It's all about 2026. It's all about
Mhm.
2026. And certainly in practice times, do you think they're going to be disappointed about where they're sitting?
But I think they're going to be the fifth team this year. So I think it's
Oh,
where they finished last year, didn't they?
so in the long run, you reckon they're going to be okay?
Yes.
I think so.
They finished
But
fifth last year.
mhm. And
So
I
the
think
cat.
they can maintain that. I think they'll have a middling start to the season, and I think they'll just improve as it goes on. They were a bit late to the party. They missed the first test and the shakedown test at Barcelona.
Yep.
Um, so they're a little bit late with things. The car's a little bit overweight, and I think once they start getting on top of that, I think they'll do well.
Just those drivers to me, it's just what a waste.
Yeah, I mean, Sainz got two podiums last year.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
which
mean,
is amazing, really.
that was brilliant. Albon did beat him over the season, but you know,
Well,
two
album.
podiums and a Williams.
Yeah,
Mm.
no, Albon was more in the points more often, and the first half of the year was really amazing for Albon.
Yeah.
Like fifth, ninth, seventh, ninth, fifth, ninth, eighth, sixth, five, seven, not quite all in order, but that's amazing. And then when Sainz got his podiums, Albon was no longer in the points. And by the
Hmm.
end of the year, sort of roles had reversed. But yeah, you're right. Even though they're two sort of almost lucky or standout results, they're not. I don't think they were. Look, both were great drives,
Yeah.
amazing results. They're both amazing drivers, and it just saddens me that Williams was the only place for them. You know, in my mind, they should be at Red Bull. One of them should be at
Yeah,
Red Bull. Yeah.
I agree. And my slight disappointment with what I've seen so far is that, as I said, James Vance has spoken for 3 years.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
embarrassing.
So my big hope was that they were going to join the big boys at the top again, and I think that's what he was gearing
Yeah.
towards.
We all got excited.
And if they are just back where they were last year, they'll be slightly disheartened, I think, because it's going to be hard, probably mid-generation, to make that jump. So I hope they haven't missed the chance and they do develop into a quick car of the year, but I'm a wee bit disappointed if that they're not there yet, by the looks of it.
Yeah, I agree. It's not impossible to develop mid generation. McLaren proved that,
Hmm.
but I think that's a rare instance. Most of the time, if they're not by the middle of the year, if they're sort of mid grid, I think that's probably where they're going to be for the next couple of years, with the odd exception.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay, on to the worst livery on the grid, I think, and that is Audi,
Hmm.
because they've just taken template livery one from the F1 games and went, that'll do, boys. So Audi, they have got Nico Hülkenberg and Bortoleto back from Sauber last year. Hülkenberg, of course, got his first ever podium last season, and I thought throughout the year was pretty decent
Hmm.
throughout most of it. Um, he was fairly competitive in the points quite regularly. Bortoleto, on the other hand, I was not really impressed with at all.
Oh, Fernando's
Uh,
coming for you.
and I don't know if that's a fair criticism or not, but I just remember being every week going, where is he? Because, Hulkenberg was, I just felt was pretty good.
I actually thought he had a pretty good season.
What did you? I just remember being so disappointed with him.
No, he finished bottom of the full time drivers.
He did, but I don't think he was embarrassed by his gap to Hulkenberg.
I agree.
Um, I think quite often he was actually outpacing him, at least on qualifying, and Hulkenberg's got a lot of experience in terms of points. Um, but yeah, I think he's got potential to do very well. But this is going to make a great season for him.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah. No, I was I agree with you both with it. I think it was a disappointing season, but the results don't quite show his pace in qualifying in the first half of the year, which I think
Mm.
was better than Hulkenberg's.
But it's going to be tricky for that team, especially because of them now being Audi. They're running the Audi engine. Nobody else is running that engine, so they don't have anyone to compare against. And I think it will be a tricky season for them.
I also think, again, it doesn't relate to Formula One, but Audi as a company's completely lost its way, lost its marbles completely. And I think there's a lot of board politics going on that might distract from this Formula One program. But I could be wrong.
Well, it's nice to see a big brand, at the very
Oh,
least,
definitely.
Yeah.
on the grid, rather than Sauber, who. You ever seen that clip of Martin Brundle speaking about Sauber the first time they sold their name?
Mhm.
It's hilariously brutal. I think someone was bemoaning the fact the Sauber name was disappearing, and he was basically going, "Well, they've been here for years, they've done nothing, they've wasted everyone's time." It's just like, oh, there might be something personal there between
Yeah.
Martin and Peter.
Quite possibly. It's a shame to see the Sauber name go, but at the same time, like you said, there wasn't any element of Sauber left there. Um, Peter Sauber left the company a long time ago. Most of the management structure he'd left behind had all disappeared. So it's not a bad time to do it. But
Team
as you
Gainwell.
say, that livery, shocking. I like the colours on the back half of it. I wish they'd done something with it. I just hate that complete straight line down the middle, cutting the car in half.
Yeah, that is weird.
It's just blend it a bit, put in a couple of lines to
Stripes.
it, just
Yeah.
anything.
Audi have never been known for the flair, I think is
True.
probably what I'd say.
That is just Germany.
Yeah, yeah, apologies. That applies to everyone. Okay, their final team, and it's actually a new team, and that's Cadillac, who have decided to go to the retirement home, and they've picked out the man who can't stop getting his arse out, that is Valtteri Bottas, and Sergio Perez, who I think has been sitting, getting paid quite handsomely for the last 12 months, doing
Uh-huh.
absolutely nothing. So we've got the two old boys back. They are last in all the odds tables,
Uh-huh.
so no one's expecting much from them. You've also got Zhou Guanyu and Colton Herta as reserve drivers. So Cadillac, strange brand for me to enter F1. But anyway, they're here now. What do you have any expectations for them whatsoever this year?
No, to score points at some point is pretty much what we're gonna get out of these. The team is, like I said, it's the first team since Haas that is a brand new, complete team from scratch. Um, so they've got so much to build up to. They're at least running a pre-built engine for them to start off with, so they know where to go with that. But yeah, they're going to be at the back. It's just how far off the back. If they can fight at the back of the midfield, they've done a brilliant job, I think.
I mean, are they going to beat Aston Martin at the race one?
I think so, to be honest. I think that the way the season's panning out, they will be ahead of Aston Martin for the first sort of 5 or 6 races, and then it's what happens after that is the question.
I'm just going to circle back to what you said, Colin. It is a strange brand to be in Formula One because it's not a global brand these days. And yes, you can technically buy one electric Cadillac in mainland Europe, and that will come to UK maybe this year. But I mean, what they're going to be selling? Couple hundred tops.
Yeah,
Well, you know what I think of when I hear Cadillac is I think of a big, spongy, huge motor
Yeah,
with a guy sitting in the front seat with a cigar in his mouth,
yeah.
and that just doesn't scream F1 to me. Now, I'm sure they do sports cars and everything throughout the years, and they've got some cool EVs and all this, but to me, it just like, why is it Cadillac?
Well,
yeah,
they are trying to be the BMW and last of sort of General Motors' brand portfolio. So last few years they have quick, sporty V8 manual transmission sedans. So that's really cool. And then, but they're mainly big hulking SUVs.
Oh, the
Mhm.
Escalade. I forgot the
Yeah,
Escalade. How could you
yeah.
forget the Escalade? It is just the biggest car in the world.
yeah. We
Which is
tried to
now
forget it.
available officially for the first time ever in the UK, thanks to a trade deal that we've got with America.
Mhm.
Will anyone buy it? No, it doesn't. I mean, I'm sure someone in Manchester and a football club will, but that's it.
Yeah,
And also the problem General Motors has, it's just genuinely have a proper, legit sports car, but it ain't under the Cadillac brand. It's the Corvette, and the current Corvette's amazing.
exactly.
And
I thought that Chevrolet's a better choice.
so it should be Chevrolet or it should be the Corvette team or something
Mhm.
weird like this. That's my opinion. But anyway, a real world car manufacturer has entered Formula One. That's a big coup. I think
Yeah.
they're going about it the right way, you know, delivery on wheels during the Super Bowl and all that cool stuff. I think both drivers are past it.
Yeah.
But I do think Colton Herta is interesting, and that is a reason to follow Formula 2 this year because he's given up his IndyCar gig to chase Formula 1 for next year. And he's doing Formula 2 at a, pretty experienced driver,
Mhm.
not really up to speed with Formula 2 at all, or this championship. And I think that's amazing. Goodness only knows if he'll do well.
Well, the thing is, he is down officially as the test driver. Uh, Zhou Guanyu is the reserve driver
Oh,
because
sorry.
Colton Herta doesn't have a super license
Which he will do,
if he does well.
yeah, in Formula 2. So it's a huge career risk.
Mhm.
And this is the most interesting thing about the Cadillac team for me is this sort of initiative to get an American driver in there.
Yeah.
And I hope it works out actually because I think that's interesting.
And I do think when they announced Bottas and Perez, which we kind of all knew it was going to be, it was just that boring two drivers who have already essentially almost retired and come back. But in hindsight, looking back, it's by far the best driver choice for a team that needs experience and building up from scratch.
I don't know. I'd put Grosjean in. No, I wouldn't. By the way, he's back full-time IndyCar this year.
Yes.
And another IndyCar slight thing, because we've talked Colton Herta and now Grosjean, and I was going to mention it during McLaren, but the old McLaren Palou court case, it went to court,
Oh,
and
God, so
McLaren
did,
won.
didn't
It did.
McLaren won 12 million damages, and then last week there's a twist, and it's now sort of been settled out of court, even though it's proven in court. Everyone's apologised, and the fees still is going to be less, but still considerable.
Hmm.
Yeah, I did see Paul
crazy.
apologise. So when I
Yeah.
saw that, I went, yeah, he's not got 12 million to give them, has he?
Well, so his team
Yeah.
was agreed to underwrite it all,
Mm.
but even then, yes, and so that means we'll never see Palou in Formula One probably. But also, Zach Brown was correct.
That makes a change.
Never doubted him once. Never doubted him once. Right, okay. We're about there or so, Mark. So we'll finish off with our predictions. We went over last year's predictions, didn't we, at the end of the season?
We did. And we got most of them wrong, I think. Me and Connie got one right and Tom got two.
Yeah,
Yeah,
by
that's-
default, I can't remember which one it was.
That sounds about right. Right, okay. Sorry, Tom. You want
Fuck
to
that.
jump in
Go
about your
again.
victory last year? Come on,
Nah,
tell us about
nah,
your victory.
nah,
Come on, you beat us. Come on.
The reason I got it was a technicality, wasn't it? Because it was first in race crash, and I said Doohan,
Yes.
I think. But Hadjar did crash, but before the race started, so
Exactly.
that was the only reason.
I would also like to add for that the first in-race crash is now going to apply to the formation lap.
Yes, that's fine. I was just going to suggest it.
Yes. Okay. Drivers' Championship. Nick.
I'm just throwing this one out there because I don't actually believe it. Charles Leclerc.
Tom.
Oh, it's difficult. You think you know what you're talking about? Well, mind you, I only wasn't claiming that, but you think you know a little bit. And do you know what? I'm going to say something really weird that's just hit me. Verstappen.
I think I went for Leclerc last year. And before you said it, Nick, I was actually thinking Leclerc. So I'll stick with it. Charles
Go for it.
Leclerc. So next up then is the Constructors' Championship. Last year, of course, won by McLaren for I think the second year in a row, was it?
Yes,
So
it was.
they're coming off defending their title. It looks like we've got a couple of teams that may be competitive. So, Tom, you go first this time. Constructors' Champion.
Mercedes. Are you tempted to be Ferrari?
I am. I think Colin is as well. Colin, you go
I am
first this time, as I
No, no.
chose first last time.
I was going to say Ferrari.
Yeah, I'm doing the same.
I just think Mercedes don't have two reliable drivers.
Exactly.
Red Bull have two, well, one phenomenal driver and one unproven at the top level.
Mhm.
McLaren, I
Yeah.
don't know. I just have a funny feeling about McLaren this year. And I just look at Ferrari and I think Hamilton was going to be on it, even though I think Leclerc
Mhm.
probably would edge the title fight between them.
I'm deeply
Yeah.
regretting my choices. I'm fancying McLaren, as like a little underdog.
Oh, right, okay.
But I've got to look. I've locked it in now, so that's that.
Okay, first in-race crash of the season.
Oh, well, I'll go first on this one. Limbad.
Will it come at Australia? Is the other question. I mean, yes,
Why?
it will.
Why?
Yeah,
Why?
no,
What's happened? What's happened to Australia since we started
Oh, I'm
recording?
just thinking, will no one crash?
All right, fair enough. Oh, I thought you were meaning about other world events.
Oh no.
oh,
Uh,
I want to change my mind, but I've gone with it. I've gone with it.
right. Nick,
Sergio Perez,
who's he going to hit?
Valtteri Bottas.
I'm going to go Hadjar.
Oh yeah, good. Last minute I thought, oh, it could be Colapinto or it could be Stroll. But
Mhm.
anyway,
Last in the Constructors' Championship.
There's well, two obvious choices at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, my head immediately jumped to Aston, but I think they'll get some sort of performance out of that car
Mhm.
eventually. So I'm going to go with Cadillac.
I'm going the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's probably the only choice.
Okay, so the first driver replaced for non-medical reasons. Now, you used to could bank on a Red Bull replacement,
Hmm.
and I think someone might have last year. Was that you, Tom? Did you get that one?
I can't remember now.
Yes, I think he did put Lawson.
I think I had Kimi Antonello last year, which was a bit of a mad call. Um, so if you go with the fact that Red Bull might have sensible management now for once,
Hmm.
it's actually quite hard to look. Um,
It is.
I know
But
what you're going to say, Nick, because I think you
yes,
alluded to it earlier. So you go first.
Fernando Alonso.
Oh, interesting.
I think he's just going to get completely fed up and just retire early.
Go to IndyCar.
Something like that. And part of me wants to say Stroll as well, because for the same reason, but he will not be allowed to leave, even if he chose to.
Oh, it's such a good shout. Colin?
My pick would be Colapinto because,
Yeah.
yeah, I think Briatore is just going to kill someone this year.
Hmm.
Hmm. It
The
is
only
one of
thing is
those
they
two.
don't have that ready-made replacement where they did last year with Colapinto. That's the
Well,
only
and
thing
there's the
I'm not
sacked
sure.
Joe off as well, didn't he? Because he
Hmm.
was at one point the reserve driver.
So it's Aaron Paul, I think, is the next choice.
Paul Aaron, I
He's
think.
Thank you. Yes, every time I go to say his name, I always think, which way round is it?
he's a bit old, isn't
Yes.
he? Yeah.
At least I didn't
I
say
mean, if
Logan
Malcolm in the Middle is a racing driver.
Paul.
Yes.
Yeah, I've gone Colapinto as well. But Alonso is the shout.
So
But
this
I can't copy you. That's a good shout.
this is
Yeah.
the two-part question now, because it's. I'll let you just say the question, Colin, but it's one, will it happen? But if so, where?
So, where does Christian Horner return? Well, does he return? And then where to? Is the question that Nick has posed to us.
Hmm. Just for a little curveball last year. I suppose as I
Hmm.
brought it in, I should probably start with this, is that I really hope he doesn't, because he's an annoying so and so. Really trying to pick my words. But yeah, he'll be at Alpine.
So it's a yes,
Ooh.
he is returning, and yes, is
It is, I
Alpine.
just don't want it to be.
All right.
Tom?
Did you see he was doing a speaking tour of Australia, but it's been cancelled? Yeah, so I do think he'll be back, and I think he's also Alpine.
Hmm.
Going earlier, Colin, about you were saying like, oh, don't see why it exists and da da da. Well, he's going to get the backers. He's going to buy a percentage of it.
Yeah, I could see that happening more like that, where it will be a new team at Alpine, but as a new name.
Yeah, Team Enstone renamed to something. Yeah.
Hmm.
Ooh,
Well, I'll say yes, but I won't just say LP because I had no thoughts on the matter before you said that. I'll say yes, and just to throw something mental into the mix, I think he'll end up at Aston Martin then,
yeah. I already typed it in before he said it because thinking about
I
it,
could see that.
it makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
just to ruin just ruin another year of Adrian Newey's life.
I also think we could all be right and wrong because a deal like that could be confirmed this year and he takes over next year.
If
Yeah,
it's
but
confirmed before the end of season podcast, that's good enough.
Oh, okay. So it didn't actually start working.
No,
All right, fine.
the only other
uh,
place I could see him coming back actually would be Audi if they have a very bad season for what they're expected to do at least. Jonathan Wheatley could get pushed out, and I could see them bringing Horner in.
I think a
It's
lot of
not
people
as
want him at
likely as the
Ferrari,
others.
don't they? But
Oh God, no.
the thing about Horner is he's a strong media person, but other than signing people's expenses off, it's never been well described what he contributed to the actual team.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you hear about what other people are doing in terms of organization and hiring staff and putting on a positive work culture and everything, but I don't think I've ever heard anyone describe what Christian Horner
did
brought to Red Bull other
did he
than being the figurehead.
did he decide to make an own engine and start hiring people for that?
Yeah, potentially you could
See,
say.
but as Colin said, though, we don't know that.
No.
We
Yeah,
know that
very
that was
true.
decided at Red Bull, but we don't know who was the decision maker for any of these things. Um,
Yeah, and when it came to drivers in the last few years, it seems like he was overridden a
mhm.
couple of times towards the end. I think Checo was his call
Yeah.
initially, but then I think he wanted Ricardo back in the car at one point and things like that, and it seems like he was maybe overridden. So yeah, it's interesting. I'd like to hear someone actually speak about what Horner does behind the scenes because
Hmm.
I find it hard to see what he's actually going to bring to a team, and that may just be pure ignorance. And so that's what I'm saying. I'd like to hear someone actually explain what he's good at, because I think we all kind of know what Stella was good at. The things that Zach
Hmm.
Brown's done at McLaren, and we kind of know Fred Vasseur's character and what he's tried to do. It's yeah, I'd love to see what Horner actually brings to someone.
Hmm.
Hopefully nothing, because he's a pain in the backside, but
Yes.
someone will pay him money.
As he says on
Mhm.
Drive to Survive, someone has to be the villain. Or he says something like this.
That was hilarious, though. Colin, I'm assuming you haven't seen any of it, have you?
No.
But this was for the season launch last year, which was
In
done at the
London.
O2.
Yeah.
And when he went on stage, he was just booed.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just that was him going, well, someone's got to be the villain. And whereas you could kind of see he was thinking, does it have to be me, though?
Yeah, there's another scene later on though where someone's trying to justify it to him, and
Hmm.
they go, "Look, everyone's asked you for a selfie, and no one's asking Zach Brown for one."
Yeah, I know. Just like,
Oh no.
yeah, the
Yeah,
inter-team rivalry there, or what was it, CEO or team owner? It's
it,
just
into
crazy.
Nissan maybe. But I think me and Colin were like, "No, Drive to Survive, oh no." But I think we're gonna have to watch it. I think we're
I
gonna
Well,
have
was
I,
to
the
watch
same.
it.
yeah, I didn't finish last year's because I thought it was terrible. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, it ran its course. But if you guys are saying it's good, I will.
it's better.
I,
There's less emphasis on some of the in-race drama stuff. They still have that, obviously, but I feel like the season before was just constantly trying to pick a battle in the races that didn't exist. Whereas this stuff seems to be more behind the scenes. So the stuff about the Horner stuff about Briatore. Um, it's just more on actual stories you want to know a bit more about. It
yeah.
still has a lot of faff in certain places, but also it's only 8 episodes this season instead of 10. And I
Hmm.
think that's actually quite a good thing because by the time you get to 10, you are just like, I'm sick of this.
Yeah.
Well, I will watch it. I'll probably watch it in the same manner as I watched WWE Unreal
Hmm.
season two, which was basically just fast forwarding through the race portions and all the other nonsense, like Christian Horner
Yeah.
walking his dogs and crap like that. To see the actual interesting bits, because that's what I end up doing with WWE Unreal, is just skipping all the bits about in the match and just seeing the little backstage bits, which are
Hmm.
the things you're actually interested in seeing. So I
Yeah.
will watch it. I'll do that next week after we've got the first race out the way. And if you guys have finished it, you can maybe talk about the full series next week.
I want to highlight my finest point, which I'm guessing that Tom has probably seen because it's from, I believe, the very first episode. but just the bit that made me laugh was when Bortoletto goes, "What's my team name?" Um, and they just said to him, "It's on your shirt, mate."
Yeah. Oh, my favorite bit was fulfillment,
Oh, yes.
which is
Yeah.
hilarious. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. But yeah, you just got to see the Briatore bits. If you don't watch anything else, you have to watch that.
I
Yeah,
will
I
do.
think,
I
I
will
think that's
do.
episode 2 or 3. It's like a full episode.
Yes.
About it.
I will do. Tom, I was just reminding myself, this time last year we set you some homework. Or, sorry, certainly last season we set you some homework. Nick and I tasked you with watching WWE Unreal.
Oh, well, I
Yes, I'd
haven't.
forgotten about that.
And you'll report back and see, as a non-fan, how it hit you. Because we always wonder what Drive to Survive is like
Oh,
for
right.
people who are not fans of F1. So,
It's added to
uh,
my list, which includes on the back of a receipt an Etzer, a new vacuum, and now WWE Unreal.
yes.
Yeah. I still need to watch season 2. I've watched the first episode. That's it.
Yeah. So, that's your homework, Tom. My homework's what Drive to Survive. Nick, you can, well, you've got a free week, pal. You do what you want.
Yep, there it is.
Okay, right. Around 20 into this. Is there any more you want to say prior to the season kicking off at 4 a.m. this weekend from Melbourne, Australia?
Just hope it's an unpredictable year
Yeah.
and that we shouldn't judge the first race too harsh. If it's either boring or exciting, or
Yeah, I
someone is
agree.
dominant or someone is bad. It's always an outlier. You know,
Mhm.
Jarno Trulli would finish on the podium for Toyota at the first race, and you go, "This is the year," and it never was.
Yes, but the rest of the field would be half a second behind him.
Yeah, they're all right behind you.
Yes. No, I'm
Okay.
excited to see what happens. Just all I hope is that we don't have one dominant force throughout the entire season. Just get
Yeah,
a little bit of changeability. That's all I
no
want.
preeminence, please.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully, over the next 9 months, and it is 9 months because we finish on the 6th of December
Mm.
um, for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Um, well, we hope. So we've got 9 months of F1 to look forward to. Hopefully, it's a good season. Also, Australia, China, Japan, and then round four is Bahrain, Saudi. So, touch wood, we'll see in a month.
Mhm.
But if that's everything for you guys, we'll say thank you for getting this far. If you enjoyed us, subscribe and hear us every week prattle on about the Formula One. And then in a couple of months' time, the big one's back. The British Touring Car Championship is back, I believe, in April,
It is.
May. Is it
Um,
April?
I think it's the very end of April, isn't it? I've got the 29th of April in my head, but I'm not 100% sure.
19th of April. It's yeah. So middle of April. So 6, 7 weeks away, we'll be back with the British Touring Cars. But yeah, our next episode will be the Australian Grand Prix review, which will be out in a week's time. So thank you for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
See ya.
Can you do that again, but when we're recording? That'd be great.
Rod Russell. Someone need to cut that out.